Hi, I'm Nairi. I'm running an adoption support channel and I've got 2 adopted boys, and today I want to give you 5 things to expect if you're thinking about going for adoption or going through the adoption process. Maybe you've been thinking of it for a while and you just want some basic information, and that's what I'm going to give you today. So the first thing to expect is always going to be a connection to the birth family. Now this won't matter whether it's an open or closed adoption, whether it's domestic or international. The child that comes to you will always have that connection with their birth family, and it's something that you have to accept before you adopt. Now your involvement with that birth family may be minimal, or you may have no involvement with them while the child is growing up, but then your child might reach adulthood, may want to seek out more about their culture and their heritage, and that's something that you have to accept as that adoptive parent. So yes, they become legally yours. This is not like foster care where the child is not legally yours. Adoption means they are legally yours. However, they come with that history, and that's something that you're going to need to accept. Second thing, done in the right way and with the right motivation, with the right support, it is truly life-changing. It's soul-searching, it's life-changing, and it's an extremely satisfying experience. So no matter what, if you adopt a child, you have this sense of fulfillment that you have. Even if you have other children, because I have 5 birth children, there's a sense of fulfillment that I cannot even put into words if you go ahead and adopt a child. Because one thing that you know for sure is that adopted child needs a family, needs a home. Even if the birth parents stay in touch with you and they're very much part of an open adoption process, they've still voluntarily decided that the child needs to be somewhere else, and you've provided that loving family for that child. And so there is nothing like it. It is a wonderful feeling, and it does feel like a very satisfying, worthwhile thing to do that just cannot be put into words. So that's my positive thing. If you're thinking about it, seriously think about it and do your research on it, because I don't think there's a better thing that you can do. However, number 3, not everybody sees adoption as a positive thing, because sometimes adoption is done in the wrong way for the wrong motivations, whether it be for financial gain or whether a family is forced to give up their child. And for some adoptees, they really struggle with the fact that they've lost their identity, their culture. They may have even lost connection with their birth family. So it's not always positive for everybody. And when I first started this channel, I felt like I was doing an amazing thing, talking about adoption, talking about supporting adopters. But what I failed to understand was that even though it's been positive for me and my family and for our adopted boys, for some adoptees it has not been a positive experience, and they've not had the level of support they need. And so you will find that there's this other aspect to it that before you adopt you need to understand is out there. Number 4, this is not a negative exactly, it's more like a factual thing. There can be a huge amount of delays throughout the adoption process, which is out of your control. So this is why you need to remain resilient and patient and believe in the fact that you want to adopt and it's the right thing for you. Because you may get change of social workers, you may get to the stage where you have been matched with a child and it falls through. You may find that there are delays, especially if it's an international adoption with paperwork. There are so many things along the way that might mean that you have to wait. And waiting is probably the most difficult thing for many adopters, because they fear, I think, that it's not going to happen, and that all the assessments and all the home visits they've had and all the questions they've answered are not going to result in a child. And this is what I'd say to you before you start. You have to be prepared to be resilient, patient, and sometimes wait when you can't control it. And my last point, number 5, is particularly if you have a child that has been through trauma and loss, which they all have to a certain extent, but if you know they've suffered that or suffered from an abusive background, or you know your child has particular behaviours that are challenging, then you're going to need to be an advocate for your child. And I would say even if none of those things have happened, for an adopted child they have more hurdles to cross in life, they have more things to overcome. And so as a parent you're going to have to be a really strong advocate for them, and you're going to have to be really open and have a really good listening ear to them and to everybody else. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to fight the corner for your adopted child on many occasions. I know I have for both our boys, to get the help that they've needed. And so you can't be a shrinking violet. I don't know if you understand that. You cannot be someone who's too shy to speak up. You have to be strong for your child. And so those are the 5 things that I'm bringing to you if you're thinking of adopting, that I hope you understand are quite basic things, but to give you a flavour of adoption. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel if you think adoption is a subject you're interested in, and I will see another one of my videos. Thank you.